The next experiment in our control system is about a root locus. Uh, in the previous experiment, we learned about how a frequency response of a given equation, given any equation, how to execute of that, and what are the graph you will be getting. In the same way, in the way when we go with the control system, it's a very important thing that it will be having a closed loop system. Yes, and we learned of the basics things how a control system is going to be, and we are up to our frequency response how it is going to be. Then we taken off that. Next, it's a very important thing when we are going to be control system. A stability factor is very important so that whenever I'm going to be taking any of the application of a control system in terms of a motors or any of the devices, if I'm going for the what is the work function we are going to be doing, the how much the accurate the value you should get for any of the device or anything, the stability factors is giving having the more importance in our control system. That stability factor we can tell that whether a system what we designed whether it is a stable one or not. To test that, to analyze that, we'll be going with the different techniques. In those techniques, this is the first one where we are going for, that is about a root locus. If I take small example where we can apply our root locus, here a camera is there. For this system, automatically a track subject is an visual, means we are going to capture some of the images. What is this model is consisting of? Here, a same one control system unit where a block diagram it is consisting what it is having a object where it is going for, that is taken as a subject position where you're going to be capturing in terms of video image, or if you are going to take an capture of any images based on that. Then about a sensor is used, then about the amplifiers so that we can amplify the signal, then about a motor means how much rotation it's going to be, that's then, and a camera. This is our CCTV or any of the images if you are going for, in all the applications the functioning will be same. Then about a camera position in which way it's going to be moving, right? And again if it is if it from the output, again we are going to give the feedback from this, means we'll be changing the position where we can get the exact visual of that image or any of the object where we placed, which one is placed at that point. Okay, based on this, how it is going to be, how I can tell that it's a stable one, I can use of the system or the working function of that it is a good. This is what a basic diagram how it is going to be taken. Next, when I tell a going to use of a root locus plot, main considering here is of our the from the frequency response, like the what's the equation you will be getting is of it is in terms of a numerators and denominator values, where the numerator it's giving the number of zeros and the denominator part will be giving the number of poles of a given equation. Therefore, a root locus is the plot is simply the plot of S, that S factor. By applying the Laplace transform, then we will be getting a few of the equation of that is S of zero values and S of pole values on a graph with real and imaginary coordinates. Here it is of a real coordinate system, and about in the xy plane, it's a x direction, it's taken as a real part, and y direction is taken as a imaginary part. When I consider of the number of poles, it is taken as cross lines. When I'm going to represent as zero, it will be represented as zeros only. In our signal system, how we taken the same thing here, which is going to be representing. One more thing, when we are going to be root locus, it's when a system is taken to be stable, it is telling that our number of zeros and poles should exist towards a left-hand side of the imaginary axis. If all the poles and zeros are lying in the left-hand side of an imaginary axis, then I can tell that the system is of a stable one. Or else, maybe marginally stable, unstable, based on some criteria are there. In the theory part, you will be learning of those. Based on that, I can tell whether a system is of a stable one or marginally stable, unstable. So some factors are going to be affecting there. Next, this is the method is very powerful graphical technique for investigating the effects of variation of system parameters on the location of the closed loop poles. Means how it is based on this equation, we should go for the multiplying the k1 k2 divided by s into s plus 1, and again a unit feedback system is there. Again, how to solve this, you will know about that. After solving that, you will be getting one more equation about if it is consisting of numerator part and also of the denominator part, just by using of your signal flow graph technique, block theorem reduction technique, how will be taking by using of that, you have to do the simplification of this equation or this block diagram. Then you will be getting the equation. Then the root locus for the open loop transfer function, that is g of s, is the plot of the location of possible closed loop poles and zeros. Means we have to take a open loop equation for the given function. Then how it is of poles or zeros are given. Here some example is given, that is f of s is going to be here number of, for the numerator part will be giving the number of zeros and denominator part will be giving the number of poles. Observe here, the zeros are going to be representing as a 0 and poles are represented by a cross line based on the what values it is consisting of. This is your real axis and this is our imaginary axis. Then some of the rules will be following when we are going to finding about a root locus. The first one, for a given any of the closed loop or open loop system, first you have to consider with the open loop equation. Then after that, find the number of zeros and poles of that equation. That is the first rule. Then second rule is of root locus is symmetric about the real axis, that you have to find out. Then about rule 3 is along the real axis, the root locus includes all the segments that are to be left of an odd number of the poles and zeros. How based on how many zeros and poles are there, the value what will be getting from that, it is depends. When you draw this I think I will tell of the next. After this, the fourth rule is going to be finding a asymptotic location of sigma naught and an angle, that is tk, where sigma naught is going to be sum of open loop poles minus sum of open loop zeros divided by number of open loop poles minus number of open loop zeros. This you have to do. Then about theta ek, this is the angle location where it is existing of our root locus, that will be giving the information, that is theta k is going to be 2k plus 1 pi by np minus nz, where k is 0 to 2. It depends on. This is as one example here it is taken. Sketch the root locus of the closed loop system. That is here it is given as a constant value, that is 0.03. Then again kp controller is taken and it's the plan with different values are given here directly. So you can use of that 16 divided by s into 0.0174 s plus 1 and with a feedback of 0.03. When I go with the equation, when I simplify this 1 plus kp g of s h of s, that's going to be equals to 0. Just you multiply g of s with the h of s, then I can get is here as a simplified equation. In the theory subject, we will be learning in depth of this, how it is going to be, how we are going for this. That is a numerator part, and over the denominator part, you will be getting the equation like this. Then this one 0.03 multiplied with the 0.16. Then again feedback. Then about our s into 0.0174 s plus 1. That is should be equals to 0. Here we are considering of the open loop system. If we are not going to be taking a closed loop system, keep that in mind. Then transform the closed loop characteristic equation into a standard form. This is a standard form what we'll be going for. Then find out the number of zeros and poles for this. The finding the open loop zeros and open loop poles. Here in this case, we do in the numerator part we don't have any of the number of zeros. For that reason, no open loop zeros, and number of poles are you have to multiply s square plus s into 57.47 you'll get. For that reason, the number of poles are going to be P1 is either it may be 0, whereas P2 is going to be minus what's the value of this, that is 57.47 you'll get. After that, you have to go with that, determine the real axis segment, where it is just you have to locate your number of poles in the axis. That is in the real axis, that the origin, we have one pole, and at a distance from origin to minus 57.47, we have one more pole that you have to locate. Then determining the asymptotes and also of the angle, sigma naught is going to be just you substitute here. Then we'll bring as minus 28.74, and with the angle theta k, there are two angles you will be getting, that is pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 you will be getting off. or else you can convert it to degree also, or else if you convert it to degree, it will be easy to draw in a graph where we are going to be using of that. Then determine the breakaway point and break-in points. Here it is going to be only break in points. Therefore, just you have to go with a d ns divided by numerator to denominator. That's going to be equals to 0. Just you reverse first. You go with a d divided by ds of s into 0.0174 s plus 1 divided by 0.47. That's giving the value after differentiation. It will be as 0.0 comma 0. That is going to be equals to 0. The value what you will be getting here is of 0.0348s plus 1. That is going to be equals to 0, or else s is going to be minus 28.74 you will be getting. Means the breakaway point of this here it is going to be shown. Observe here. Here you should mark a point about what's the value you getting of breakaway point. That is minus 28.74. Then this up to that we will find out how a breakaway point, how it is going to be shown. Next, a position feedback control system is proposed to the corresponding background. One more it's going to for this we have to sketching for the root locus. What we will be getting for this controlling unit, you'll be getting the root locus like this. In the theory classes, you will be learning how each and every step we have to take. Angle of asymptote, breakaway point. From the breakaway point, we have to go with the how our root locus is going to be existing. This is the example here it is taken. This is for this control unit. This is how a root locus is going to be existing. This is what here it is shown. In the same way, for example 3, again with a different techniques here, feedback control system is given. For this also, we have to find out what is the value. Then find the closed loop characteristics of these two equations. Then I can get as 1 plus k divided by s plus 4 into of this 1 divided by s into s square plus 4s plus 20. That's going to be equals to 0. Then step 1, find the numerator part and denominator part. Then find out number of open loop zeros and open loop poles, and locate those poles and zeros in the axis x and y axis in a real and imaginary part. Then find out what is angle of asymptotes and what is our breakaway point. Here you will be getting as theta k with 1 pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 7 pi by 4, and asymptote at with the sigma naught is going to be minus 2. Then the breakaway point here it will be as minus 2 and minus 2 plus or minus 2.4j 5 45j. This is one by one step we are going on. Next step to determine the imaginary axis where it is crossing for us. Here it's going to be just you substitute, simplify the numerator part of this, that is equals to 0. With the k you have to take, then a substitute for s is equals to j omega, then go for solving. Then you will get as k2 is going, k1 is going to 0, omega 1 is going to be 0, k2 is going to be 260, and omega 2 is going to be 3.16. This is how a root locus is going to be visible after doing of that. Okay. Next, in a MATLAB, the programming is simple. First, what you have to do, how to write the program. Here it is simple program. It is there. Only 3-line programs. The numerator part here, what's the values are going for. Here it's going to be s value is not there. Yes, s plus 1 is there, means I can write here as 1 comma anything values. Here it is going to be s is not there. For that reason 0. What is the constant values of 1? 1 you have to write here. And denominator part, then that is going to be equals to, when I multiply here s square you will get, that is of s square, the coefficient value is 1, for that reason 1. Then s into 57.47, then we will be getting as 57.47, and we don't have any constant values here, for that reason it will be 0 only. Like that you have to write in a numerator and denominator values. Then after that RLOCUS, that is root locus. This only you have to write. If you skipped off any character here, it will be showing an error. RLOCUS. If you done numerator comma denominator, then whatever you are going to be doing in a by using of a normal manual method, how it is going to be, instead of that, directly if I use this one instruction, I can find out, I will directly get this graph in the MATLAB. Okay, here it is shown here. This is how in a MATLAB it is going to be executing the graph. Based on this graph, we can tell that whether it is stable or not. Directly we can do that. Instead of going for a manual method, directly you will be getting the value here. Then with one more example, here numerator is given as 180, then denominator 1 comma 57.47 with a 0, then R locus, now numerator comma denominator, then you will be getting the graph like this. All are existing towards the left hand side of the imaginary axis. So we can tell that it is of a stable system. Then one more example here it is given. Only of the denominator, you just observe here. Yes, 4 is coefficient value is 1, 8, 36, then 80, and one more constant value is not there. For that reason, that will be 0. Then again, then you will be getting the graph like this in the MATLAB. Directly, we can tell that how where it is moving for. This is how we are going to be using for our